Hey everyone, this Arctic blast is getting worse, everybody. In fact, we have polar air moving in. We still have the classic setup with two storms coming this week, snowstorms and ice storms on Wednesday and Saturday. Next week, from the 10th through the 15th, is when the polar air really settles in. This will be a classic setup with high pressure in the Pacific and another high pressure system over the northern Atlantic, creating a negative NAO and pulling everything southward. The system will strengthen after the 10th. In this video, I'll provide the latest updates on the impacts. Remember, today is Sunday, so afternoon updates will begin for the two storms hitting on Wednesday and Saturday. If you're new here, make sure to subscribe. We've been tracking this cold air for about a week now. Looking at the stratosphere, you can see the changes happening over the days. We first started getting high pressure manipulation in the Pacific, which locks in place and pushes the jet stream lower into the lower 48, bringing cold air with it. Then a high pressure block develops in the northern Atlantic, reinforcing the setup. With high pressure on both sides of the Pacific and Atlantic, the jet stream drives frigid air deep into the U.S. You can also see this trend with both the Euro and GFS models. The temperature anomaly maps show the cold stretching and splitting into two regions, with the Northeast holding onto it the longest. That's why in my last video, I mentioned the Northeast would experience a fake spring. This is a textbook pattern: high pressure in the Atlantic, high pressure in the Pacific, and a deep intrusion of Arctic air into the lower 48. As this cold front moves in, it will create convection along the boundary, increasing the risk of snowstorms and ice storms. The latest data even suggests the GFS model projects an even deeper and stronger plunge of cold air. Looking at the Arctic oscillation, the Euro model indicates that the incoming cold air will be even more intense than what we had recently. The NAO, North Atlantic Oscillation, also confirms we are entering a negative phase, allowing cold air to push southward. According to the GFS, this cold air mass will persist longer and could dive even deeper into the U.S. This confirms that a significant blocking pattern is forming, reinforcing the southward push of Arctic air. Please share this information to help alert others. Like I mentioned in a previous video, don't plan too early. This pattern is intensifying and looking potentially severe. Now let's look at the trends. Examining additional models, including the Euro AI and the Canadian model, we see consistent agreement that this cold front will be even stronger than the last one. The upcoming cold event is much deeper than previous ones. Even the AI-enhanced Euro model, which uses satellite data, aligns with the GFS forecast, confirming that this Arctic blast could be stronger and last into the late teens of February. Is the blocking pattern holding? Multiple models confirm that it is, meaning the cold air will continue to push deeper into the lower 48 as we progress into February. Looking at temperature anomalies from the National Weather Service, the data shows well below average temperatures spreading southward. While the southeast remains above average initially, the Arctic air mass will continue to push deeper into the U.S. Updates suggest this trend will strengthen, with widespread below average temperatures aligning with the Euro and GFS models. We are looking at temperatures anywhere from 40 degrees Fahrenheit to 60 degrees Fahrenheit below average. As we go through the week with the snowstorms, we'll see below average temperatures sweeping across the country. However, this is just the first event. After the 10th, the cold becomes even more extreme, pushing into the south central U.S. By mid-February, temperatures could plunge 40 degrees Fahrenheit, 50 degrees Fahrenheit, or even 60 degrees Fahrenheit below average, bringing additional cold fronts and increasing the likelihood of snow and ice storms. The influx of Gulf moisture will fuel these storms, increasing snowfall potential. As we approach February 10th, at least an inch of snow is expected from these two upcoming storms. After that, deeper cold air will bring further snowfall chances. The Euro model's precipitable water data still indicates an atmospheric river affecting the west coast. driven by a Pineapple Express pattern originating near the Hawaiian Islands. Meanwhile, moisture from the Gulf will contribute to Wednesday's storm, increasing the risk of freezing rain and winter weather impacts. Snow will impact the Great Lakes as it moves through the Northeast on Thursday. Then another system arrives on Saturday, affecting the same region and moving through the Northeast on Sunday. The storm timeline has shifted again, now spanning February 8th through the 14th. Previously, it was forecasted for the 2nd to the 4th, then the 4th through the 6th. But now we're looking at an extended window from the 8th to the 14th. This pattern brings above average rainfall within these green outline areas, along with snowfall from two storm systems between Wednesday and Sunday. Current models show snowfall accumulating across the Dakotas, with the heaviest totals from central to eastern regions. The best chances for significant snow extend across Iowa, central and southern Minnesota, Wisconsin, northern Illinois, northern Indiana, Michigan, northern Ohio, and the interior Northeast. Moderate risks for heavy snow are present in the higher elevations of upstate New York, Vermont, New Hampshire, and Maine. Meanwhile, the atmospheric river from the Pineapple Express continues, but we also have these storms arriving on Wednesday, bringing freezing rain, shown in pink, and heavy snow, shown in blue. The darker the color, the heavier the banding. As this storm moves through the Northeast on Thursday, temperatures will briefly rise, potentially melting some of the snowfall and freezing rain before dropping again by Friday, which could lead to icy conditions on the ground. Be aware of the potential for hazardous travel. The next storm system arrives on Saturday, targeting the same region but slightly farther south. It will exit through the Northeast on Sunday, bringing another round of freezing temperatures behind it. Once again, any lingering precipitation could freeze on the ground, and whatever snow remains will likely stick around for an extended period. After the 10th, we will experience a deeper push of Arctic air. A southern snowstorm remains a possibility due to the strong dip in the jet stream, bringing dangerously cold temperatures, extreme wind chills, and continued chances for snowstorms. The national blend of models indicates snowfall potential through the 10th, with these two storms bringing significant accumulations to the Northwest, Upper Midwest, Great Lakes, and Northeast. Snowfall totals range from 5 to 10 inches in the pink shaded areas, with heavier amounts in more northern regions due to warmer conditions further south. Beyond the 10th, deeper cold air will push into the U.S., increasing snowfall potential across the South as Gulf moisture fuels additional storms. Between Wednesday and Sunday, heavy snowfall will continue across the northern tier of the lower 48. After the 10th, the advancing cold front could enhance southern snowfall and even produce freezing rain. The GFS model confirms a heavy band of snow across the northern U.S. through the 10th, with a potential southern dip bringing additional snowfall and freezing rain. This system also carries significant rainfall potential. Looking at the Great Lakes and Ohio Valley, heavy precipitation is expected. Yellow areas indicate over an inch of rainfall, while red areas could see up to 2 inches. After the 10th, Gulf moisture surges northward, fueling additional storms and precipitation where it meets the Arctic air. This could result in recurring southern snowstorms. Now let's examine expected temperatures. By Monday, February 10th, freezing temperatures will dominate in the morning, with sub-zero readings across the northern tier. However, the real concern is the wind chills, which will be brutal and persist through Wednesday. As these snowstorms move through, the cold air deepens. By February 12th, widespread freezing temperatures extend into the south and southeast, with extreme wind chills across the Rockies, upper Midwest, and Great Lakes. By Friday, February 14th, another strong cold surge arrives. A sharp temperature contrast between warm air to the south and frigid air to the north will set the stage for significant snowstorms and freezing rain. Wind chills will continue to worsen. Beyond the 14th, the cold intensifies. By February 15th, sub-zero temperatures return to the northern U.S., with wind chills plunging to minus 40 degrees Fahrenheit or even minus 50 degrees Fahrenheit across the upper Midwest and into Canada. On February 16th, Arctic air continues to push deeper into the U.S., reinforcing sub-zero temperatures and dangerously low wind chills. I'll keep you updated on the latest developments. Thank you for your time, and I'll see you this afternoon for another update. We'll track these storms closely and monitor how severe this Arctic outbreak will become. Please share this information to help keep others informed. This situation is worsening. Now, let's dive right into the data. I don't want to keep you waiting any longer. The model next to me is the latest run of the European computer model, and it does a great job of illustrating the developing pattern. Not just one, not two, and maybe not even three, but potentially 4 or 5 storm systems will cross the country over the next 10 to 15 days. And these aren't going to be small clipper systems like we've been seeing recently. These will be stronger storms with the potential for heavy precipitation, strong winds, and major impacts. Whether that be snow, ice, or rain will depend on where you are. One important trend in these models is that the storm tracks are shifting farther south as we move forward, which will be a key factor in this forecast. We'll break that down in today's video as well. What's happening right now? Before we get into the major storms ahead, let's talk about current conditions. Northeast, a small clipper system is moving through the region tonight. While this isn't one of the big storms we're watching, it could drop 1 to 3 inches of snow for some areas. Western U.S. The bigger story is out west, where we've seen tremendous snowfall thanks to an active atmospheric river. This system is pumping in moisture, bringing heavy rain and snow, especially as it interacts with cold air diving south from Canada. A large low-pressure system is currently parked off the British Columbia coast, enhancing this atmospheric river and dumping heavy snow in the mountains. Even Seattle and other lower elevation areas have seen some snow, not something to ignore. If you're a snow or ski lover, conditions out west are about as good as it gets right now. Radar breakdown. Let's zoom in on some regions. Midwest, that clipper system I mentioned is bringing snow to Michigan, Wisconsin, and parts of Minnesota. If you're in the Chicago or South Bend area, you may have seen some snow this morning. Let me know in the comments how much has fallen in your area, West Coast and Rockies. That atmospheric river is sending waves of moisture inland, fueling heavy snowfall across the mountains. While this isn't quite a full Pineapple Express, which is when an atmospheric river connects all the way back to Hawaii, it's still a potent system bringing plenty of precipitation. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like this video. And if you haven't subscribed yet, make sure to hit that button and turn on notifications so you don't miss future updates. I'll see you in the next one.